in my hearties, says the captain, and a tremendous fight began. Of course, the British beat, they always do. No, they don't, cried Joe, aside. Have taken the pirate captain prisoner, sailed slap over the schooner, I think. Schooner whose decks were piled with dead, and whose lee scabbers, I don't know, scabbers ran blood, for the order had been cutlasses, and die hard. Bosun's mate, bite, take a bite, take a bite of the flying ship sheet, and start this villain if he don't confess his sins double quick. All right, where am I? Said the British captain. The Portuguese held his tongue like a brick, and walked the plank, while the jolly tars cheered like mad. But the sly dog lived, came up under the man of war, scuttled, scuttled her, and down she went, with all sail set, to the bottom of the sea, where, oh gracious, what shall I say? Cried Sally, as Fred ended his rigmarole. Wow, why is this one? Rigmarole, in which he had jumbled together. Should be jumbled together. Pell-mell, nautical phrases and facts out of one of his favourite books. Well, they went to the bottom, and a nice mermaid welcomed them, but was much grieved on finding the box of headless knights, and kindly pickled them in brain, hoping to discover the mystery about them. For being a woman, she was curious. By and by, a diver came down, and the mermaid said, "I'll give you this box of pearls if you can take it up," for she wanted to restore the poor things to life, and couldn't raise the heavy load herself. So the diver hoisted it up, and was much disappointed on opening it to find no pearls. He left it in a great lonely field, where it was found by a little goose girl who kept 100 fat geese in the field, said Amy. When Sally's invention gave out, the little girl was sorry for them, and asked an old woman what she should do to help them. "Your geese will tell you. They know everything," said the old woman. So she asked what she should use for new heads, since the old ones were lost, and all the geese opened their 100 mouths and screamed. "Cabbage," continued Laurie promptly. "Just the thing," said the girl, and ran to get 12 fine ones from her garden. She put them on. The knights revived at once, thanked her, and went on their way, rejoicing, never knowing the difference, for there were so many other heads like them in the world that no one thought anything of it. The knight in whom I'm interested went back to find the pretty face, and learned that the princesses had spun themselves free, and all gone to be married but one. He was in a great state of mind at that, and mounting the colt who stood by him through thick and thin. Okay, I think I need to deal with it. Okay, where am I? State of mind at that, and mounting the colt who stood by him through thick and thin, rushed to the castle to see which was left. Peeping over the hedge, he saw the queen of his affections picking flowers in her garden. Will you give me a rose? Said he. You must come and get it. I can't come to you. It isn't proper, said she. As sweet as honey. He tried to climb over the hedge, but it seemed to grow higher and higher. Then he tried to push through, but it grew thicker and thicker, and he was in despair. So he patiently broke twig after twig till he had made a little hole through which he peeped, saying imploringly, what a word! Imploringly, let me in, let me in. But the pretty princess did not seem to understand, for she picked her roses quietly and left him to fight his way in. Whether he did or not, Frank will tell you. I can't. I'm not playing. I never do, said Frank, dismayed at the sentimental predicament out of which he was to rescue the absurd couple. Beth had disappeared behind Joe, and Grace was asleep. So the poor knight is to be left sticking in the hedge. Is he? Asked Mr. Broke, still watching the river and playing with the wild rose in his buttonhole. I guess the princess gave him a bosey and opened the gate after a while, said Lorry, smiling to himself as he threw acorns at his tutor. Okay, what a piece of nonsense we have made. With practice we might do something quite clever. Do you know truth? Asked Sally after they had laughed over their story. I hope so, said Meg soberly. Soberly. The game, I mean. What is it? Said Fred. Why, you pile up your hands, choose a number, and draw out in turn, and the person who draws at the number has to answer truly and question any questions put by the rest. It is great fun. Let's try it, said Joe, who liked new experiments. Miss Kate and Mr. Broke, Meg and Ned declined, but Fred, Sally, Joe, and Laurie piled and drew, and the lot fell to Laurie. Who are you heroes? Asked Joe. Grandfather and Napoleon. Which lady do you think prettiest? Said Sally. Margaret. Which do you like best? From Fred. Joe, of course. What silly question you ask. And Joe gave a disdainful shrug, as the rest laughed at Laurie's matter-of-fact tone. Try again. Truth isn't about the game, said Fred. It is a very good one for you, retorted Joe in a low voice. Her turn came next. What is your greatest fault? Asked Fred, by way of testing and had a virtue he lacked himself. A quick temper. What do you most wish for? Said Laurie. A pair of food lacings, returned Joe, guessing and defeating his purpose. Not a true answer. You must say what you really do want most. Genius. Don't you wish you could give it to me, Laurie? And she slyly smiled in his disappointed face. What virtues do you most admire in a man? Asked Sally. Courage and honesty. Now my turn, said Fred, as his hand came last. Let's give it to him, whispered Laurie to Joe, who nodded and asked at once, Didn't you cheat at croquet? Well, yes, a little bit. Good. Didn't you take your story out of the sea lion? Said Laurie. Rather. Don't you think the English nation perfect in every respect? Asked Sally. I should be ashamed of myself if I didn't. Well, it's 10 minutes than I participated to do. Good. Didn't you take your story out of the sea lion? Said Rory. Rather. Don't you think the English nation perfect in every respect? Asked Sally. I should be ashamed of myself if I didn't. He's a true John Bull. Now, Miss Sally, you shall have a chance without waiting to draw. I'll harrow up your feelings first by asking if you don't think you are something of a flirt, said Laurie, as Joe nodded to Fred as a sign that peace was declared. You impertinent boy, of course I'm not, exclaimed Sally with an air that proved the contrary. What do you hate most? Asked Fred. Spiders and rice pudding. What do you like best? Asked Joe. Dancing and French gloves. Well, I think the truth is a very silly play. Let's have a sensible game of authors to refresh our minds, proposed Joe. Ned, Frank, and the little girls joined in this, and while it went on, the three elders sat apart talking. Miss Kate took out her sketch again, and Margaret watched her, while Mr. Brooke lay on the grass with a book which he did not read. How beautifully you do it. I wish I could draw, said Meg, which with mingled admiration and regret in her voice. Why don't you learn? I should think you had taste and talent for it, replied Miss Kate graciously. I haven't time. Your mamma prefers other accomplishments, I fancy. So did mine. But I proved to her that I had talent by taking a few lessons privately, and then she was quite willing I should go on. Can't you do the same with your governess? Governess. I have none. I forgot. Young ladies in America go to school more than with us. Very fine schools they are, too. Papa says you go to a private one, I suppose. I don't go at all. I am a governess myself. Oh, indeed, said Miss Kate. But she might as well have said, dear me. How dreadful for her, for her tone implied it, and something in her face made Meg colour and wish she had not been so frank. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Mr. Brooke looked up and said quickly, young ladies in America love independence as much as their ancestors did, and are admired and respected for supporting themselves. Oh, yes, of course, it is very nice and proper in them to do so. We have many most respectful and worthy young women who do the same and are employed by nobility because, being the daughters of gentlemen, they are both well bred and accomplished, you know, said Miss Kate in a patronizing tone that hurt Meg's pride and made her work seem not only more distasteful, but degrading. Did the German song suit Miss March? Inquired Mr. Brooke, breaking an awkward pause. Oh yes, it was very sweet, and I'm much obliged to whoever translated for me. And Meg's downcast face brightened as she spoke. Don't you read German? asked Miss Kate with a look of surprise. Not very well. My father, who taught me, is away, and I don't get on very fast alone, for I've no one to correct my pronunciation. Try a little now. Here is a Skylas, Mary Stuart, and a tutor who loves to teach. And Mr. Brooke laid his book on her lap with an inviting smile. It is so hard, I'm afraid to try, said Meg, grateful but bashful, in the presence of the accomplished young lady beside her. I'll read a bit to encourage you. And Miss Kate read one of the most beautiful passages in a perfectly correct but perfectly expressionless manner. Mr. Brooke made no comment as she returned the book to Meg, who said innocently, I thought it was poetry. Some of it is. Try this passage. There was a strange smile about Mr. Brooke's mouth as he opened at poor Mary's lament. I don't know. Let me highlight it then. Maybe I need it one day. Maybe not. Who knows? Meg, okay. Do I need to read this one? I think. 2 more pages. Meg, obediently following the long grass blade which her new tutor used to point with. Read slowly and timidly, unconsciously making poetry of the hard words by the soft intonation of her musical voice. Down the page went the green guide, and presently forgetting her listener and the beauty of the sad scene, Meg read as if alone, giving a little touch of tragedy to the words of the unhappy queen. If she had seen the brown eyes then, she would have stopped short. But she never looked up, and the lesson was not spoiled for her. Very well indeed, said Mr. Brooke, as she paused, quite ignoring her many mistakes, and looking as if he did indeed love to teach. Miss Kate put up her glass, and having taken a survey of the little tableau, what is this one, before her, shut her sketchbook, saying with condescension, You've a nice accent, and in time will be a clever reader. I advise you to learn for German in a valuable accomplishment to teachers. I must look after Grace. She's romping. And Miss Kate strolled away, adding to herself with a shrug, I didn't come to chaperon our governess, though. She is young and pretty. What odd people these Yankees are. I'm afraid Laurie will be quite spoiled among them. I forgot that English people, rather turn up their noses at governesses, and don't treat them as we do, said Meg, looking after retreating figure with an annoyed expression. Tutors also have rather a hard time of it there, as I know to my sorrow. There is no place like America for us workers, Miss Margaret. And Mr. Brooke looked so contented and cheerful that Meg was ashamed to lament her hard lot. I'm glad I live in it, then. I don't like my work, but I get a good deal of satisfaction out of it after all. So I won't complain. I only wish I liked teaching as you do. I think you would if you had Laurie for a pupil. I shall be very sorry to lose him next year, said Mr. Brooke, busily punching holes in the turf. Going to college, I suppose. Meg's lips asked the question, but her eyes added, And what becomes of you? Yes, it is high time he went, for he is ready, and as soon as he is off I shall turn soldier. I am needed.